title, but here let me discuss about the certain important points as far as the global scenario is concerned. Certain informations. I think screen is visible to you.
Yes,
Visible.
sir.
Very
Visual,
good.
sir.
So the 66.3 billion people without fresh water. This is also a major problem for our country. Also, we are not having the deficit or we are not having the scarcity of the water, but particularly the fresh water that is under stress. 1.8 billion people are compelled to drink contaminated water. 8.42 lakh people die every year near due to waterborne diseases. As you know that if the water quality is deteriorated, gastrointestinal problems are 80% of the stomach related problem, gastrointestinal problems are triggered. Then the 33,000 million cubic meter per year industrial effluents are being poured into the river. Then 16,700 cubic meter per year. Out of these 30,000 cubic meter per year industrial effluents, out of these 16,700 cubic meter per year effluents, industrial effluents comes from China, India, America, Indonesia, Brazil, Japan, and Russia. So India is not lagging behind in this area. Also, we are very much significantly, if you are pouring down the effluents into the major river in the country. The 261,000 cubic meter per year as a urban wastewater, only 8% of wastewater is treated. So if the wastewater treatment is another challenge, and we have a lot of opportunity and challenges to treat the wastewater. Otherwise, you know that urbanization is very rapid in our country, and once the urbanization is rapid, wastewater production, or the you can say the wastewater generation, is quite high. If you move towards the rural area, the wastewater is less in comparison to the urban area. So it is very much fact that India is urbanizing, rural India is urbanizing very fast. And then simultaneously, it is also fact that the wastewater generation is going to be multiple or many folds in the future. Then I come to the national scenario. 37,000 cubic meter per year untreated sewage is being poured into different streams and polluting 275 rivers, major and minor. So this is very significant point which has to be looked into under the water pollution. And let me discuss before coming to the other salient features that there are two types of the water pollution if you divide it under two heads. Number one is the surface water pollution, second is the groundwater pollution. Surface water pollution means the pollution of the water either of the lake, ponds, or the river bodies or river systems or river, which are the water which are seen by your naked eye on the surface. While the groundwater pollution, the pollution of the water you are getting from the tube well, hand pumps, open wells, dug wells, like that. So on both, if you look towards the surface water contamination and groundwater contamination, both are significantly observed in our country. If I ask you to define the water pollution, so I have already discussed in the previous class when I was discussing the Water Pollution and Prevention Act 1974. In that I defined as per the CPCB definition, the water pollution means there is a norm. If that is altered, quality is altered of that water according to that norm, either Bureau of Indian Standards or WHO, then it is called water is contaminated by the particular radicals or heavy metals. So the inorganic, organic, and biological, these three types of contaminants are there: inorganic, organic, and biological contaminants. Inorganic contaminants constitute radicals, positive and negative, or you can say cations and anions like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. On the other hand, sulfate, carbonate, bicarbonate, chloride, all these concentration has to be according to the norms in the water. if it is deviated or altered by our activities or natural process, that then we can say that water is contaminated from the particular point of particular radical, particular like fluoride pollution, then arsenic pollution in the water, then nitrate pollution. So it means nitrate has crossed the limit which is desirable or permissible. So if it is a fluoride contamination of the water, it means fluoride radical F-1, fluoride radical has crossed its permissible limit in the water. So this is the point. So there are two type of, again, if you divide again the pollution, anthropogenic and geogenic. Anthropogenic contamination is the contamination which is triggered or influenced rather by us, by human beings. We are responsible. We are pouring down the contaminants like pesticide, insecticides, fertilizers, or other things. Okay, industrial effluents, sewer. We are responsible for it. So that is called anthropogenic. Under this also, if you can classify into these two, point source and non-point source. Anybody can tell what do you mean by the point source and non-point source? Are you understanding the deliberations? The talk? Anyone? Hello?
No, sir. No idea about point and source.
Okay. But whatever I just discussed up to this time, you are getting my point or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were getting.
Very good. Amisha?
Yes, sir.
Have you answered about the point source and non-point source?
Sir, I don't know about this.
I don't?
I don't really know about this.
Okay, okay. So the point source is the source which you can identify very well that pollution is coming from that point. That is called point source, like industrial effluents. You know the particular industry, its location is fixed. Then that is called point source. And non-point source means the dispersal of the contaminants is not at a point, like fertilizers. If you are spreading the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers in the agriculture field, it is not at a point. It is a dispersal activities taking place. The drainage water during the rainy season, the contaminants at a particular point, but it is coming through the nalas or streams or the, you can say, the artificial drainage in the city, and it is pouring down into the stream. So there is no clear-cut idea that from where it is coming. So that is called non-point source. Now it is clear?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
So these terms, different terms, anthropogenic, geogenic. Geogenic contamination is the contamination which is natural, like fluoride, arsenic, nitrate. I am coming into the detail how these contaminants or contamination of the water or pollution is considered as a natural or geogenic. Geo means earth. Earth means due to the dissolution of the soil and rock, if the water is contaminated under the natural process, that is called geogenic contamination or geogenic pollution. So I hope you are getting my point. At any juncture, any point, if you are not able to understand, or you can say grasp, immediately you put the raise your hand or ask the questions. The pollution load generation from domestic and industrial sources, you see the difference. You see the difference that wastewater generation, and this is the domestic. As sewer, I told you in the previous class also, the sewer is in our country's most dominant contributors for the water pollution of the surface water. You see this by the black or gray industrial source. Here biochemical oxygen demand, BOD, from the sewer it is less, but from the industrial sources it is more, because heavy metals are much more dominant as a contaminants in the industrial effluents. While pathogenic bacteria and the E. coli and other ammonia, these are very much dominant in the sewer. So this is the difference, biochemical oxygen reduction, generation and reduction. BOD in the industrial sectors, industrial effluents is reduced very drastically, while it is very difficult, or it is relatively slower reduction in the biochemical oxygen demand by of the domestic sewer system or domestic wastewater. Now, this is the point. What is the biochemical oxygen demand? Anyone?
So the oxygen present in water?
No, no, that is dissolved oxygen. That is DO. Amisha?
Sir, as far as I know, I think it is the organisms present in the water, the amount of oxygen they require to synthesize some compounds, perhaps.
Next, synthesize.
Synthesize maybe organic compounds.
No. Your half answer is correct, but decomposition, the biological creatures, aquatic creatures, biological biota, you can say, in the water, which they requires the oxygen to decompose the you can say the waste material, that is called biochemical oxygen demand. For that decomposition, reaction take place for the decomposition for that water. Okay, so that is called, this is the sectoral water use. If you look towards the different type of the sectoral water use, this is the irrigation, okay, sectors, and the amount is projected demand in billion cubic meter. Here it is a year 2010, 2025 and 2050, means 2010, 2025, 2050, 2050. Irrigation sectors has really in our country has highest demand. Then following the drinking water, industrial sectors is the drastic increment from the 2025 to 2050. If you see from 23 to 63, just double, more than double, triple, lagbag. Then this is the energy sectors. You see the jump. By 2050, certainly we will be having the water demand very high in the energy sectors and other sectors here. So if this is the scenario of the sectoral demand and water use, certainly the pollution has to be there from, if anthropogenic pollution from there. So it means the energy sectors, if it is a clean energy alternative we adopt, certainly we are going to have the very negligible amount of pollution. But if you are depending upon the conventional energy sources and using the water for the cooling purpose only, then certainly we are going to have a problem. Just for information, I tell to you, day before yesterday, 6th IPCC report has been released. Anyone has seen some salient feature of that report? अभी आप लोगों को ये सब्जेक्ट मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ, इन्वायरमेंट एंड क्लाइमेट चेंज. आपको कभी लगता नहीं है क्या कि कोई न्यूज आए, कोई चीज क्लाइमेट चेंज से अगर आए देखे तो कुछ उसको जाना जाए, पढ़ा जाए? ये बुकिस पढ़ाई में आपका ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट लगता है क्या? अब वो जमाना गया जब हम पुरानी किताबें जरूरी हैं, बट जो अपडेशन होना चाहिए नॉलेज का, इंफॉर्मेशन हैज टू बी अपडेटेड. भारत कुमार,
Yes, sir.
have you seen?
No, sir, no.
If you have not seen the report, have you seen either the gist of the report or some news?
I don't watch news, sir.
You don't watch news?
No, sir, sorry.
So what do you watch?
Sir, I sometimes read newspapers, but
Which newspaper?
Bhaskar and
Very
Rajasthan
good. Bhaskar and
Rajasthan Patrika are state
anyone
news.
among this class reads Hindu, the Hindu newspaper?
Sir,
Pardon?
sir, about this IPCC report, I saw in news, sir, yesterday.
Very good. So what is the salient features out of that?
Yes, sir. And they said that something like.
बोलो, तुम्हारी आवाज नहीं आ रही. हेलो, हाँ, बोलो भाई. His voice is not coming. Are you getting? Are you people getting his voice?
Yes, sir.
क्या बोल रहा है?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm actually saying that I seen in news that the report says something like India may see more heat and some more droughts in future, and it may get some cyclones like that, and also it also have some insights of African countries. And yes, sir, it said like that, sir, in news.
Very good. These are the certain features. I will upload the salient features. I have yesterday downloaded the certain salient features of the 6th IPCC report. Because my point here to discuss that some conventional things you know very well, either from the book or the web, but we should hit or we should know, we should understand the points which are really in the frontier areas. Just coming to the class, either online or physical class, and then consuming the time 1 hour and then going back, that is not the purpose. Purpose is fruitful debate, fruitful interaction, and fruitful the discussions on the relevant and the updated informations. If any student is having, he or she should share at this platform so that everybody knows. So I was discussing that here the sectoral use, then the sewage generation is maximum, untreated sewerage is here, then sewerage treatment capacity is here. So huge difference still India is having. I told you in the beginning that we are suffering from this crisis, that wastewater generation is huge, but its treatment is not in the same frequency or same manner. That is the area where we have to work a lot. Then the wastewater generations from the different states, if you look, Maharashtra is on top, then followed by Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Delhi, Gujarat, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, then Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Kerala, Bihar, Telangana, Punjab, Haryana, Jharkhand, Odisha, and remaining states. It means Maharashtra is in top. And Maharashtra is also on top rather than Kerala regarding the corona cases, COVID-19. So, but here is the pollution. If you wastewater generation in Kerala, if you look, it is only 4%. It is not matching with the current rate of this. The point is not relevant, but here I cited the example that Maharashtra is on top, followed by Uttar Pradesh. It is not it cannot be correlated with the COVID. So don't try to correlate with this. The water pollution, I have already discussed this issue, type of water pollution. I have also discussed these things, surface water and groundwater. Then geogenic and anthropogenic, I have discussed, and under geogenic, this fluoride, arsenic, and iron. This fluoride, arsenic, and iron, these are the geogenic. These are not anthropogenic. These contaminants cannot come from the own industrial sources significantly. It is from the natural thing. Anthropogenic, chromium, nickel, cobalt, phenol, glycerin, nitrate, all these are coming from anthropogenic activities which are harmful in nature. Point source, I discussed that you can hold the point of the industries or industrial source. 9-point source, agriculture, I have already. If you pollution in streams, then if you look towards this types of organisms, then dissolved oxygen and biological oxygen demand here. If you look, the biological oxygen demand is here. If you look towards this, it is, let's see if it is increasing here in the decomposition zone. Clean zone may BOD is very less. And in the decomposition zone, it is very higher with red color. Then the septic zone, it is declining, and recovery zone, it is again declining BOD, and clean zone again it is coming. Means these 3 parts, decomposition zone, septic zone, and recovery zone, this is the vulnerable for the BOD. Means BOD is drastically increasing when the decomposition takes place of the waste, and therefore this is the graph. And here dissolved oxygen in clean zone is maximum, then it is minimum in the decomposition zone and septic zone, and again increasing in the recovery zone. Means the BOD and DO, dissolved oxygen and biochemical oxygen demand relationship is inversely proportional to each other. Are you getting my point or not?
Getting so.
Getting, very good. Means if the in any surface water, river water, if the dissolved oxygen is more, BOD cannot be more. BOD will be less. Point source sewage, municipal waste or private industrial waste, non-point source agriculture activities, oceans pollution, ocean water pollutions, oil spills, dumping, land waste sources, migration of chemical substances from one place to another place, as in the groundwater also. Contaminants cannot be at only one place below the ground surface. In the groundwater, it is also transported from one place to another place, as in the case of the surface water. The migration or the transportation of the contaminants or pollutants in the surface water is very fast according to the speed of the river. But in the groundwater also, the movement is sluggish. It is not very rapid, but it is also, you can say, migratory. It is not static. Here the different modes of the water pollution. As you are very much aware about these things, in the case of river Ganga, water pollution, then the sources of surface contamination, surface water contamination, all these major environmental impacts in the manufacturing industries. This is one diagram where this is, if you look, unsustainable procurement of raw materials. ये अगर इसका अच्छा नहीं है तो क्या हो जाता है? Industrial processes and activities and then products, and then what at each step, generation of waste, effluents and emission, insufficient use of materials and resources, then also waste, then products, improper disposal methods for हेलो, हाँ जी, हाँ मैं अभी तो मैं थोड़ा सा वो कर रहा हूँ, क्या कहते हैं, लेक्चर ले रहा हूँ, तो थोड़ी देर, आधे घंटे बाद. Then I was discussing just about this fact that industrial processes and activities, and then products also environmentally negative impacts due to product use. All these are at product level, processes level, raw materials, all these have to be quality controlled. Otherwise, pollution and contamination increases. Are you getting my point or not?
Yes,
This
sir.
is one simplest diagram which represents that we can have this type of arrangement at our community level or a restaurant, hotels, all these. This is simplified domestic wastewater treatment. Here it is a chamber with wire mesh to remove solids, settling tank, then again this is the barrier, and then it is coming here, then again like that, separator, 2-3 separators, pebble beds are here, and then in here, again after filtration of this water, solids are removed and clean water. Clean means only disinfection is required here, and no suspended solids are left here at this place, and this is the storage tank. The sources of groundwater contamination, let me discuss in detail these things. Withering and leaching of minerals and rocks, what do you mean by it? अभी सरफेस वाटर के बारे में आपको थोड़ा मैं शेयर कर रहा था, स्लाइड्स से भी और इंफॉर्मेशन भी. More particularly, I discussed certain issues related to the groundwater contamination, but now from this slide, it is totally devoted towards the groundwater contamination. What do you mean by the first bullet? आज देख, anyone? Anybody?
So removal of top layers of rocks.
Removal of top layer, very good. Anything else? Good. Removal of top layers, removal of minerals or withering of rocks which can be input. Minerals की leaching होगी, rocks की withering होगी और minerals की leaching होगी. Rock is composed of many minerals. So if rock is withered, then the decomposition of rock will yield the different minerals, and after reaction again with the water and decomposition, then mineral leaching of the mineral into the groundwater or the soil will be there. Then chemical contamination from the industry is also responsible for the groundwater contamination. Leachate from rubbish tips areas of fill, landfills. लीचेट क्या है? साल्ट है एक तरह का, और वो जैसे नाइट्रेट वगैरह है, ये कहाँ पे? डंपिंग साइट जहां होती हैं, जहां गार्बेज डंप की जाती है बहुत दिनों तक, वहां पे उसके नीचे जाके लीचेट का फॉर्मेशन होता है, और दैट इज आल्सो गोइंग टू कंटामिनेट द ग्राउंड वाटर. सो इट इज नॉट ऑलवेज एडवाइजेबल, बल्कि प्रोटेक्शन होना चाहिए कि ऐसा नहीं कि कहीं भी लैंडफिल बना दे और जहां वेस्ट हम अपने मटेरियल को डंप करते जाएं. अगर डंप कर रहे हैं तो उसकी हाई डेंसिटी पॉलीविनाइल पॉलीथीन सीट से, प्लास्टिक से नीचे उस डिप्रेशन को उसमें डालें, जिससे कि वो जो विदरिंग के कारण से पानी के कांटेक्ट में जब वो लैंड सॉलिड वेस्ट आए लैंडफिल का, वो कंटामिनेट होकर ग्राउंड वाटर में न जाए. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट और नॉट?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes.
Sewerage from unlined sewer system. Yes, lined sewer system has been accelerated very fast in the recent years, and you are finding, if you are seeing in your city or rural areas or suburban and urban areas, the sewer system is very fast now, taking speed rather. Therefore, because unlined sewer system is responsible for the groundwater contamination, and like a nitrate is the nitrate contamination. Nitrate की permissible limit 45 ppm है, parts per million, milligram per liter or ppm, both are same. So the nitrate permissible limit as per PIS is 45. Otherwise, the disease called blue baby syndrome or hemomethoglobinemia occurs in the children. Have you listened such disease so far?
No,
Blue
sir.
baby syndrome.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
ब्लू बेबी सिंड्रोम सुना है नाम? हेलो,
Yes,
चुप
sir.
क्यों बैठ जाते हो यार? आप लोग चुप बैठ जाते हो.
Yes, sir. We hear about it.
क्या होता है?
सर इसमें इस कंडीशन में जो बेबी की जो स्किन होती है वो टर्निंग इन ब्लू में से कुछ पोर्शन समथिंग ब्लूइश ब्लू सा हो जाता है.
क्यों?
सर क्योंकि हीमोग्लोबिन सैचुरेटेड हीमोग्लोबिन डिक्रीज हो जाता है इसलिए.
Very good. Circulation of the hemoglobin with the oxygen is prohibited, or you can say hampered, by the input of the nitrate, and the decomposition of the, you can say, the oxyhemoglobin is not there. Means the oxyhemoglobin HBO होना चाहिए circulation के लिए, that is decomposed, that is not, that is retarded. The process is retarded of the circulation. Therefore, the skin or the appearance of the skin becomes blue in the children. So that is called, and that is not, this disease is not found, or this does not occur in the adult. So this is the different kind of disease may occur in the adult, because nitrate is also carcinogenic. If higher concentration of nitrate anybody is taking you can say over the period, long period, then it may become the carcinogenic. So the usage of pesticides, fertilizers, chemical, waste fuel and paints, all these are also responsible for the groundwater contamination. I have discussed all these. Let me discuss groundwater and surface water interaction here. If you suppose that the surface water is नदी का पानी यदि पोल्यूटेड है और ट्यूबवेल नदी के पास बना है, देखो पानी आ रहा है, येलोइश कलर आ रहा है, जबकि कलरलेस होना चाहिए वाटर. वाटर की क्वालिटी क्या होनी चाहिए? कलरलेस, ट्रांसपेरेंट होना चाहिए, नॉट टर्बिडिटी. But here it is yellowish color. It means the contamination has reached into the groundwater from the surface water. Therefore, we should be very cautious when we are going to construct the tube well near the bank of any contaminated river. We should keep the distance quite away so that we do not get the impact of the polluted water flowing in the stream. If you look towards the groundwater contamination, it is very old data, but I have tried to just compare which type of pollution and inhabitants in our country have been affected: fluoride, arsenic, salinity, iron, nitrate, and others. If you look towards the iron, contamination is huge and significant in our country. The 0.3 ppm is the permissible limit of the iron for the drinking water, 0.3 ppm. And if the concentration of this iron goes beyond 0.3 ppm, that is called iron contamination in the water. Northeast states of our country are suffering from the high concentration of the iron. Anybody from the northeast? होंगे तो जरूर कोई ना कोई होगा. कोई भी? Anybody from the northeast? No one. Anyone from northeast? No one. कोई होगा भी तो भी नहीं बोलेगा. The northeast brownish color of the water or platform of the hand pumps, yellowish brown. If you see, or you put the water in the bucket after a overnight, if you next day you morning, if you see the yellowish brown color ring is formed or made in the bucket, that is the symptoms of the higher concentration of the iron. And the gastrointestinal problem is more triggered, or you can say the occur due to the high iron intake in the drinking water. Then fluoride. The limit of the permissible limit of the fluoride in the drinking water is 1.5 ppm. 1.5 ppm. And it is also significant states. 14 states in the country or part of the country, in the different parts of the states. 14 states may problem hai in the country. High fluoride. And what is the health hazards? Bending of bones, skeletal fluorosis, molting of teeth. All these are the health hazards due to the fluoride. I will be coming and I will show the figures, photographs, then certainly you will appreciate it or you will perceive very clearly. Then it is also geogenic in nature due to the leaching of fluorite mineral, apatite mineral in the river. In the groundwater, we are getting the high fluoride concentration. And very interestingly, if you look, iron and fluoride, in the river water, we are not getting higher concentration of either iron or fluoride or arsenic. We are getting in the groundwater only. रिवर के वाटर में आयरन की कहीं भी अधिकता बहुत ही रेयरली पाई जाती है, बट ग्राउंड वाटर में बहुत जगह है. 16-17 स्टेट्स में हाई पॉकेट्स में डिफरेंट पॉकेट्स में हाई आयरन प्रॉब्लम है, फ्लोराइड की प्रॉब्लम है, आर्सेनिक, ये सरफेस वाटर में नहीं है. इट मीन्स the process of chemical reactions has been so much involved in the surface water due to the better oxygen availability in the open air, that there is no accumulation of this excess iron, fluoride or arsenic in the river water. While in the groundwater, oxygen is very less if you move towards below ground the surface. And once the leaching of the, you can say, the contaminants occurs, then the reactions is not so fast. Therefore, whatever we are finding, it is in the dominant in the groundwater. I was just discussing this area, high arsenic problem area. This is the West Bengal, the 24th. Anybody from the West Bengal? Anyone from the West Bengal? बोलो भाई, अभी मंडल कौन मंडल है भैया इसमें? मंडल कहाँ है? मंडल भाई, मंडल कहाँ है इसका? सीआर is present or not?
He is present, sir. Naman.
भारत
So your voice is breaking.
भारत,
Yes, sir.
तुम लोग सब सो गए क्या भाई? हेलो
नहीं sir.
हेलो हेलो
Yes, sir.
अमीशा,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
हेलो हेलो
Yes,
हेलो
sir. You're
श्याम शर्मा, आदित्य पांडे,
Yes, sir.
Sir, आपकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही.
बोला किसी को कंप्लेन? मयंक पांडे, ओके, अरे यार एक हेलो हेलो,
Yes, sir.
आई वाज आस्किंग यू पीपुल, नोबडी वाज रिप्लाइंग. मेरी आवाज जा रही कि नहीं आपको?
We are replying,
All
sir.
were like maybe you
Voice.
had network.
My point is, anybody from the West Bengal? Anybody from West Bengal?
So possibly no one is here from West Bengal.
I'm audible?
Yes, sir. You
Hello?
are audible.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. You are right.
So I was just discussing the and asking that anybody from West Bengal. The reason was that here, if you see, the first reporting for the high concentration of arsenic was from the 24th district Pargana from the West Bengal, and the arsenic problem in West Bengal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Assam, Tripura, and Chhattisgarh. These are the states which are suffering from the high arsenic problem in the groundwater. And you should also try to understand that the entire state is not under the problem. Parts of the states is under the problem. And here in the fluoride also, 17 states here, if you look, and 66 million people at the risk. And in Uttar Pradesh, then Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, then parts of Bihar, and West Bengal, and then Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. These are the states where the fluoride problems are there, fluoride pollutions of the groundwater is there. So in the hard rock area, अगर आप यूपी की बात करें, उत्तर प्रदेश की, तो आर्सेनिक बलिया डिस्ट्रिक्ट, लखीमपुर खीरी, and fluoride in the Sonbhadra district, Unnao, Pratapgarh, all these districts are suffering from the high fluoride in the water. अब आप कहोगे कि क्या पूरा प्रतापगढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट, पूरा उन्नाव डिस्ट्रिक्ट फ्लोराइड अफेक्टेड है? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, पार्ट्स ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट. If you look towards this photograph is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
The right side top, the skeletal fluorosis due to the high intake of the fluoride. and fluoride. I just taught to you that the permissible limit is 1.5 ppm. This is the example of skeletal fluorosis, and this is the example of district Sonbhadra. Then mainly the 30, you can say 6 or 7 villages are suffering from this high intake of the fluoride, and there are so many schemes are running to combat this problem. But still it is because geogenic, it is the leaching of the minerals from the area which are rocks are exposed on the surface, and then the groundwater which is being contaminated by the fluoride. The bottom, both the diagrams relate to the Balia district, where the people, this man is not more now, no more, and due to this arsenic cancer, the skin cancers occurs. This is the spot, gray and black spots occurs on the surface of the palm. Then the budding of the skins, and then automatically it is removed. So this is the problems related to the arsenic, high arsenic and fluoride. And one important things just I want to add, that these arsenic and fluoride are called sweet poisons. Why? Because एनी वाटर, जब किसी वाटर में आप देखते हैं तो अगर पहले पीते हैं आप पानी को, इफ देर इज नो बिटर टेस्ट, देर इज नो कलर, ट्रांसपेरेंट, फ्रेश, then you think that it is a good, it is a potable water. Then second is by taste and color and smell, if the water is fit, you accept it or we accept it. But the fluoride and arsenic are the such contaminants or pollutants which do not yield any type of bitter taste, foul smell or color. एकदम वैसे ही रहेगा. अगर आर्सेनिक बहुत ज्यादा है, आर्सेनिक की लिमिट है 10 ppb, 10 parts per billion in the ground, in the water, permissible limit. बट यदि 50 ppb भी, 100 ppb भी है कंसंट्रेशन, तो भी आपको ना उसमें कोई फाउल स्मेल मिलेगा. There is no odd color, there is no bitter taste. यही केस फ्लोराइड में भी है. कितना भी कंसंट्रेशन हो जाए फ्लोराइड का, बट टेस्ट खराब नहीं मिलेगा आपको. हाउ टू रिमूव इट? So without chemical testing of the samples, analysis of the samples, we cannot come to the conclusion that water is polluted by arsenic or fluoride. ये बड़ा स्वीट पॉइजन, इसीलिए मैंने कहा आप पीते जा रहे हैं, पता नहीं चल रहा, क्योंकि आप पानी अच्छा लग रहा है पीने में, बट पता चला आपको जब हेल्थ हजार्ड्स हुआ तब जाके पता चला. सो माय पॉइंट इज हाउ टू दे, जैसे अगर फ्लोराइड 2, 2.5 या 3 ppm है, 2.5 और 3 ppm, then you can add alum. Okay, you can add alum in the water, okay, so that it can take care of it. एलम से काफी फ्लोराइड छन जाता है, रिमूव हो जाता है. आर्सेनिक के केस में यदि 10 ppb परमिसिबल लिमिट है, और सपोज दैट 15-16 ppb तक अगर आर्सेनिक है, यू कीप द वाटर इन द एयर एंड द ऑक्सीजन, ड्यू टू द इनपुट ऑफ द ऑक्सीजन, द आर्सेनिक ट्राइवेलेंट changes into arsenic pentavalent, which is non-carcinogenic. Trivalent arsenic is carcinogenic, cancerous, while pentavalent arsenic is not cancerous. So therefore, at least it can remove 5 to 10 ppb. So open aeration is also one method. Here, the crude and refined petroleum oil destroys insulation and buoyancy, tanker accidents and blowouts, heavy oil sinks and kills bottom organism, volatile hydrocarbons kills larvae, slow recovery, oil slicks, ruin, breaches, ये सब ऑयल से है, ऑर्गेनिक पोल्यूशन से. अब देखें कि नॉन पॉइंट सोर्स को कैसे प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं. मोस्टली एग्रीकल्चर वेस्ट है. यूज वेजिटेशन टू रिड्यूस सॉइल इरोजन, रिड्यूस फर्टिलाइजर यूज प्लांट बफर जोन्स अराउंड फील्ड्स so that it may be absorbed by the plant. Integrated pest management, only use pesticides when necessary. Use plant buffers around animal feedlots. Keep feedlots away from the slopes, surface water and flood zones. Then water pollution, what can you do? Prevent groundwater contamination, greatly reduce non-point runoff, reuse treated wastewater for irrigation, find substitute for toxic pollutants, Work with nature to treat sewage. Practice of 4R means refuse, reduce, recycle and reuse. Refuse of what? Refuse of wastewater. Refuse of pollutants. Reduce. किसको करना है? हमको पोल्यूटेंट्स को जितने हैं उसको रिड्यूस करना है, फिर पानी को रिसाइकिल करना है, फिर रीयूज करना है. रिड्यूस रिसोर्स वेस्ट, reduce air pollution, reduce poverty, reduce birth rate. And then water pollution, your garden and yard plants with manure or compost instead of commercial inorganic fertilizers. Minimize use of pesticides. Grow or buy organic foods. Compost your food waste. Don't use water freshener in toilets. Don't flush unwanted medicines down to the toilet. Don't pour pesticides, paints, solvents, oil, antifreeze or other products. So means my point is, on one hand, the sources of pollutions I discussed, what are the common sources of the pollution of the water. On other hand, I am discussing try to minimize those pollution in the water. So therefore, we can have the minimum cost, minimum you can say expenditure involved for the treatment. Then the wastewater generation from the industry. If you look towards the industry, engineering is the dominant here. If you see the volume million liter per day, जो million liter per day जो waste water generation है, वो engineering industry से ज़्यादा है, सबसे ज़्यादा maximum. Then pulp and paper, then textiles, steel industry, then others, and here the minimum is organic chemicals. So like these are the major industries, sectoral sectors. And due to these sectors, different industrial sectors, what are the contribution towards the wastewater generation? Then this is the, you know very well, I need not to discuss in detail, you know very well all this. Ganga Basin, the leather pollution in the Ganga Basin, responsible factors, leather industry, 1 billion liters of raw sewage a day, inadequate cremation techniques. The Ganga Action Plan India attempts to clean up has been non-effective over the period. Namami Gange scheme is recently launched under the NMCG, National Mission for Clean Ganga. So all these are there, and with these I am trying to finish this talk on the water pollution. I may upload this PPT also to you. Besides that, certain literatures I will also upload text materials to under this water pollution. Secondly, I would like to tell you that quiz will be held on 14th August. Okay. So, ये देखो ये पीसी इसको. So quiz will be held on 14th August, and link I am just going to share you. Okay. Any doubt, any questions to you?
Sir, syllabus?
Syllabus, that is sustainable development, carrying capacity and clean energy alternative. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So, any doubt, any questions? So let me download the attendance. Thank you very much. Thank you all.